Welcome friends, my name is Satyajeet Sahu and today we are going to see a very important session, address a very important, I can say, concept for all of you who are preparing for the GATE 2026. Yes. So we know that it is already the month of October and the GATE exam is not far. It is October, then your November and December and January. And then in the month of February, the most awaited for all the GATE aspirants, the GATE exam is going to occur. So now, if only 4 months are remaining, most of you might have completed the syllabus or are on the verge of completion of the syllabus. Now, it's very important now to revise, and what can be better way to revise than test series? What can be the better way to revise than test series? So all of you now must enroll for test series and start giving the tests. Yes. Now the thing is that when I am giving the test series, how to approach the test series? Because if you are attempting the test series without any prior planning, then it is not going to help much. Now, we know that we are going to appear for the GATE examination in the month of February and the GATE is 100 marks. So, if you are going to target 70 plus marks in the GATE examination, then only some kind of good rank you can expect. And actually I should target more than 80 marks, but at least 70 marks you should target. And therefore, when we are giving the test series and giving the full test, then we should be targeting 70 plus marks. Now, how to achieve that? I'm going to have a discussion on that. Now, we all think that the test series means giving the full test or mock tests. Yes, we need to target the full test or mock test, but that comes at a later stage. So, if you are seeing the test series comprises of three types of tests. The first tests which you will be giving or should be giving is the topic wise test. Now, many students what they do, they directly jump to the full tests. They don't appear for the topic wise test. That's a big mistake. You should not be directly jumping into the full syllabus test. Yes. So, first of all, you should go for the topic test, then you should be going for the subject wise test and then the mixed subject test, and then only you should be approaching the full syllabus test. Now, let us break this whole thing into different phases and then what you should be doing at what stage. Yes. So, let us see that one by one. So, first of all, if your preparation is over or on the verge of completion, the first phase, meaning the month of October, the October is already there, right? Okay, so today we can say in the first week of October. So from the month of October, you should have starting what? You should start with topic wise test, not the subject wise test or the full test. You should be starting with what? The subject, not subject, topic wise test. So when you are starting with the topic wise test, so what things you should keep in mind when you are doing that? So those things we are going to discuss today. So when you have started your topic wise test, you should first of all see that in a particular test which topics are being asked. So if you open the test series for a particular topic wise test, all the topics names will be mentioned, right? So what you should do first, you should complete those topics or revise those topics, have a quick revision. How you can revise the topics? You can see the class notes, you can solve the questions which are solved in the class, and then you can solve the DPP of those topics, right? And also you can do the previous questions of those topics. So once that is done, then you should appear for the topic wise test. Now when you are appearing for the topic wise test, try to understand that topic wise test has no other purpose than to revise your topics and to make you accurate with the concepts. So don't target speed when you are solving the topic wise test. Okay, do not be targeting that I will solve very fast. Then what will happen? Many questions will commit mistakes, and in the topic wise test only you are going to lose your confidence. Yes. So don't target 100% marks, and even don't target too much of speed. You should be focusing on that whatever you are solving in the topic wise test, you should be solving accurately. So you should be focusing on accuracy over speed when you are going for the topic wise test. And you should not be also targeting 100% marks. You should be targeting 70 to 80% marks. And you should gradually improve your performance in the topic wise test. And then after you have given the test, okay, after you given the test, you should have a notebook where you can write down the topic test number, and then you can see that what mistakes you have committed there. That what for first of all you should write all the formulas which are asked in the topic wise test. Even if you have solved it correctly also should write down the formula, and which you have solved wrongly that you can mention with a star mark that okay, I didn't use this formula correctly. So you can differentiate that which formula you are using correctly and which formula you are not using correctly. Yes. So you should maintain a mistake notebook for formulas, long concepts and silly errors, so that you can understand that after you have given a particular topic wise test, which formulas or which concepts you are applying wrongly. Because you see the solution after the test you have given, you will see the solutions. Yes. So you will understand, okay, I have committing mistakes in these concepts. So write down those concepts because those are your weak points and you should correct them. And also you should write down which silly mistake doing the silly mistake. Silly mistakes can be what? You can be using formula wrongly, or you might be using the formula correctly, but you might be using the units wrongly. Yes. Or you might be using the formula with a wrong notation. Suppose it is b square, you might be using b cube, right? So suppose the formula has a b square, you're using b cube. So you'll understand, okay, this mistake I am doing. Okay. So therefore you should maintain this, okay, while you are going in for the topic wise test. Then what further things you should keep in mind, that after the test you should see that which particular question you have spent lot of time and wasted your time in the examination. That's very important, because try to understand when we are giving the GATE exam or any exam, we don't have to solve every question. Yes, if you are solving more than 90% of the question, then that's done. Yes. So if you are spending suppose 20 minutes for a particular question, that's a waste of time, right? So therefore you should understand that how much average time you are spending per question. So you should see all the question which you have solved, and you should see that in which question you have spent, lot of time. See, if I say get 1 mark questions, for 1 marks I can say you should spend ideally you should spend for a 1 mark question uh, 2 to 3 minutes, 2 minutes, or I can say 1 to 2 minutes or 2 to 3 minutes. And for a 2 mark question, you should spending 3 to 4 minutes maximum. If you are spending more than 6 minutes or 7 minutes or even more than 5 minutes, that's a waste of time. Yes. So you should make sure that all the 2 mark questions you are solving in 3 to 4 minutes. Yes. Or you are solving in maximum 5 minutes. If you are crossing more than 5 minutes, that means you are wasting time there. And whenever you are solving a question and you are taking more than 4 minutes, what you should do? You should mark it for review and then come to that question at the end of the test. Yes. So whenever you are giving a test, what you should do, if you are seeing that it is taking a lot of time, then what you should do, you should mark for review that question and attempt that question at the end. You should not be wasting more than 5 minutes or 10 minutes for a particular question. Yes. So to understand that are you wasting time or not, it is very important that after you have done with the test, you should see that how much time you have spent per question. Yes. And then you should maintain, as I told, what wrong you have done. Okay. That one you should always do. Yes. Another thing I want to tell here that suppose you gave the test, topic wise test, and your marks came 50%. So no need to be depressed about it. Yes. No need to be depressed about it, and no need to be, uh, feeling bad about it. Yes. No need to feel bad about it that that I scored 50%. No, no problem. See, if you have scored 50% or 40% or whatever marks, that is for you to improve. So what you should do after you have given the test, you should, as I've told, you should see that which questions you have done wrongly, see the correct solutions. Yes. And then you should repeat the test after 2 days. Yes, repeat the test. So when you're repeating the test, you have already seen the solutions and you know that where you're committing the mistakes. And when repeating the test, you should make sure that you don't commit those same mistakes. Yes. So that will what? That will correct your mistakes in the second attempt. Yes. So always repeat the test after you have given the test. See, if you are scoring more than 90%, then no need to repeat the test. Yes, then you are almost done. But if you are scoring less than 60%, then you should always repeat the test. So this is about the topic wise test. Yes, this is about topic wise test we are doing. So you see what is written here, M for 70 to 80% accuracy in the topic wise test. So if you are scoring more than 90% in the topic wise test, then no need to repeat the test. If you are scoring less than 60%, then I will tell that repeat the test. Yes, after you have analyzed that which questions I am doing wrong, what formulas I am using wrongly, and which questions I am spending more time and wasting my time. After you have done all this analysis, then you should repeat the test for that. Yes. And then you should gradually increase your speed and confidence. As I told, so see, all topics you won't be scoring less than 60%. Some topics will be scoring less than 60%. Many topics will be scoring more than 80% also, right? So topics which you are scoring more than 80%, no need to correct it. Yes. And if you are seeing that some topics you are scoring less than 50%, 30%, 20%, then you should repeat the test and you should increase that gradually, and no need to feel depressed about it. Yes, we are all giving these tests so that we can improve. So whenever you are giving this test and if you are scoring less, then that is not the final examination, right? So that is not the final examination. So no need to feel depressed. You should repeat the test and improve yourself gradually. Yes. So this is all about the topic wise test. Now once you are done with the topic wise test, as I have told, the target of completing the topic wise test should be in the October and November, and from November mid you can start giving the subject wise test, right? So when you are giving the subject wise test, you should make sure that you have completed all the topic wise test of those subject. Yes, suppose you are targeting a particular subject, then first make sure that you have completed all the topic wise test of that subject, and then you go for the subject wise test. So in the subject wise test, as you have complete topics, yes, in the topic wise test, then you revise all the formulas and see that what mistakes you have done in the topic wise test. Yes, and then you should do what? Then you should go for the subject wise test. Yes, and when you are revising, again you should do the same thing, revise the formulas, revise the class notes, revise the topic wise test, and then give the subject wise test. Now once the subject wise tests are over, then what analysis you should do for the subject wise test and mixed subject test. Yes, so as I have told, the same thing which I have told before for topic wise test. What is the red flag? If any topic where accuracy is less than 60%, if you are scoring less than 60%, that means you should repeat the test. Yes, or you should mark those topics that okay, these topics I am weak. Yes, see, if you are scoring more than 90% means what? That means what? You are strong in those topics. So you can maintain a record. Okay, these topics I am very strong and these topics I am very weak. That will what? Bifurcate the topics very nicely. So topics which you are weak, you should mention them separately and then revise them more and repeat the test. Same with subjects also. Yes. So revise that concept same day, never postpone the weak areas. Yes. And then what is written? 45 to 50 marks in full test, on track for 70% later. Yes. So once you have done with the topic wise test, so we'll write down the order here. So first we will give the topic wise test. Once the topic wise test of the subjects are over, then you can go for the subject wise test. Yes, and then suppose you have completed 2-3 subjects like this, and then you can go for the mixed subject. Now after all this is over, then you can go for the full syllabus test. So never go for full syllabus test once you are not done with this. Yes, first you should go for topics, and then once topics are over, then go for the subjects, and once suppose 2-3 subjects are over, then go for the mixed subject, and then when all the mixed subjects are over, then you can go for full syllabus test. Now this is the full syllabus test. As I told, you should target full syllabus test from mid of December or end of December. Okay, better from mid of December, but if you are unable to do in the mid of December, at least start from the end week of December, and in January you should be giving the full subject tests. Yes, and when we are attempting the full syllabus test, yes, that is very serious test because that will be 3 hours test, right? Yes, that is 3 hours test. So therefore, when you are giving the full syllabus test, you should be in a room where you are not disturbed for 3 hours. You should not be giving the test like suppose 1 hour you have given the test and then after 1 hour you are going somewhere or meeting your friends or watching television or watching your mobile or eating food. No. When you are sitting for full syllabus test, it should be 3 hours non-disturbed. Yes, you should be completely isolated. So you should do what? You should sit on a table chair, open your laptop or mobile, yes, and then you should be giving the test as you will be giving the final exam or gate exam. 3 hours you should not be going anywhere. 3 hours you should keep the clock, yes, you should keep the clock or watch. You should have your water bottle and your rock papers and don't use the calculator, use the virtual calculator because in the gate examination you won't be allowed the calculator. So whatever is applicable in the gate exam, similar atmosphere you should be replicating in the full syllabus test. So if the full syllabus test there will be 3 hours, so 3 hours you should be completely isolated. Lock yourself in a room, yes, so that you're not disturbed by any of the family members or your friends because they are not knowing that you're having an exam. So you should be isolated or inform them that I'm giving an exam, so don't disturb me for 3 hours. So 3 hours you just sit at one place and then give the full test in the same mode as you are giving the gate examination. That's very important. Yeah, that's very important. And you should be repeating the full syllabus test or full length test every 3-4 days. So if you are giving by December end, you have around 40 days. So you should be giving at least 10 full syllabus tests. Yes, at least 10. If more than that, very good, but at least 10 you should give. Yes, and then try to give the test in the same slot which you have been allocated in the gate exam. See, the admit cards will come by either December end or January first week. So you will be given your slot time. Either it will be 9:30 or it will be 2 p.m. right? Yes, 2:30 or something like that. Yes. So either you will have morning slot or you will have evening slot or afternoon slot, I can say better. Yes. So whatever slot is given, you should be giving the full syllabus test in that slot only. Suppose you have morning slot, then you should be giving the examination, the full test in the morning slot. And suppose you have been allocated the afternoon slot, and that information you will get only at December end, or you will be getting that information in January first week. So when you get that information, okay, I have the afternoon or morning slot, so give the full syllabus test in that slot only. Why? So that you train your brain or mind to be acquainted of that time. So if you are giving that repeatedly, then what will happen? Then on the examination day, your brain will be acquainted of solving question during that time. So you are training your brain for the final examination, right? So it should be giving the same slot as your gate examination, right? Then, as we have told, that you should be maintaining notebooks. Any notebooks, what you should be writing? You should write what silly mistake you are doing, yes, and what conceptual errors, or I can say which concepts you are missing. Suppose you are solving a question and you are not able to understand which concept I should use, right? So after you have given the test, you should write that concept, that okay, this concept I have missed. Yes, so this that and make a list of that. So what will happen? You will now understand, okay, these concepts I am unable to apply or I have missed. Yes, so silly mistakes, then conceptual gap, guessing error, right? What happens, we don't know the answer, we start guessing. So what kind of guessing errors you are doing? And time issue, as I have told, time issue means what? That if you are spending 10 minutes for a question, it's a waste of time. Or yes, even more than 5 minutes, it's waste of time in a gate examination. So after you have given the test, you should analyze that per question, each question, how much time you are giving. If after the test you are seeing that one question you have spent 15 minutes, then even if you have solved it correctly, that's a waste of time. See, somebody will tell, sir, I spent 20 minutes for a question and I solved it correctly. But that's not good, because in that 20 minutes you might have solved 5 questions. So solving one question correctly in 20 minutes is not a good thing. We think that okay, 20 minutes, sir, you will tell that, sir, 20 minutes if I give it, I solve wrongly, then that's a problem. But if I solve correctly, then that's an achievement. No, that's not an achievement. Even if you solve the question in 20 minutes, that's a very, I can say, decremental to your rank, because your 20 minutes is wasted. So therefore, because in the final score, they won't be asking you that you solve the tough question or not. Not. they will tell you how many questions you have solved correctly, right? The number of questions, number of marks. So therefore, it's very important that we track that in each questions how much time we are spending. That's a very important point in the post analysis. And as I told, you should have a notebook where you should be mentioning that what mistakes you are doing, which formula you are not able to recall, or which formulas you are doing errors, or which concepts you are not able to apply. All those things you should write down. Okay. Now, what happens is that we don't have a habit of writing down. Everything we just keep in mind. No, 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 no. We'll forget. So what you should do? You should always write down in notebook. So write down and then revise those formulas more. See, every formula we should revise, but the formulas which you are committing mistake or the concepts which you are missing in the tests, those are not in your brain properly, right? So those need to be revised more. So you will do revision of everything. Yes, that's important. But more important is that where you're committing mistakes, to revise them more and more, it's more important. Now, how you will remember that what mistakes you are doing or what concepts you are using wrongly? For that, you need to maintain a record. Yes, and therefore you should maintain a notebook, and then whenever you have time, you revise those notebook more so that you can reduce your errors in the main examination. Yes. So thank you very much, and you should start the test series as soon as possible. As I told, start with the topic-wise test, yes, and then go for the subject test. Once you completed topics of a particular subject, go for the subject test, and then go for the mixed subject, and then finally go for the full test. And as I told, whatever mistakes you are conducting and whatever conceptual gaps are happening while solving the question, yes, for all those things you should do what? You should, you should go for your that notebook. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Uh, Stay connected to the channels. We will come with more videos to help you out. Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you.